And welcome back, everyone. Welcome to ESL Masters Summer 2023 Asia Closed Qualifier, the very first of all the closed qualifiers. I'm, of course, your host, ZvT, and with me, I'm joined by my lovely, beautiful plushies. Oh, they're... I'm totally not going crazy at this point because of how much we have been casting. But yes, for this evening, I will be solo casting. Hopefully, that will not be the case. Tomorrow, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Oh boy. But yes, so we have finally made it here to the closed qualifiers. It all comes down to this. The open qualifiers have been an opportunity for all these players to make it this far in the event. And now, everyone here is in the money. Everyone here is earning something for their time. But we want more than that. We want to qualify for the main regional event here for Asia. That is what we are here for. And as we switch our scenes over, we can have a look at the matches before us here. Oh, not quite those matches. These matches before us here, as we have quite a lot going on. We have a full round of 16 available to us, and quite a lot of players are available as well. Starting from the top to bottom, Jeshi is going up against Kingslayer. We did feature Kingslayer last night, and we were pretty hyped up for it, to be honest. Followed by Honmono versus Raza, Firefly versus Young Zest, Silky versus Zane, Piglet versus Oriana, Nanami versus Maxed, GogojOey versus XY, and SCV versus Ranger. 8 beautiful matchups are going on right now. Unfortunately, we can only cast one. I would love to be able to delve into every single one of those. Unfortunately, unfortunately, we can only cast one at a time, and it's a little bit difficult to pick and choose. I would love to get into Piglet versus Oriana. Piglet in general, I would love to be able to feature him at some point. Ranger is close and dear to our hearts. Honmono and Raza as well would be insane. And of course, Zane and Silky coming in as well. Silky kind of being inactive for a long time. Zane as well, we don't get to see too much of him either. A lot of really good matches. We are spoiled for choice, but in the end, we have decided to go for a bit of a ZvT. We're going to be getting into GogojOey versus XY. Oh boy. And here we go. 16 players have entered, and 8 will qualify. We're going to be cutting this in half. And this is where dreams come to die. It's gonna be brutal, mate. It is gonna be brutal, but it's gonna be an intense day of StarCraft nonetheless. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be beautiful. Tears will be shed. Smiles will be had. And in the end, it's not gonna be over because we have more to cast after this. But spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the Chinese Terran player himself representing Invictus Gaming. It is XY. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player hailing from the land of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. It is GogojOey. The best player in all of Hong Kong, going up against the mindset of the king himself. XY has been around for a very, very long time. He's become a bit of a meme as well. And it's in a good way, he has kind of propped up this kind of idea of having a strong mental overall to be able to overcome these hurdles. But is it going to be enough to overcome GogojOey? Because GogojOey is the best player in all of Hong Kong. He is a staple when it comes to the regionals of Taiwan, Hong Kong specifically in the last couple of years. He has even been able to overcome Rex at times in ZvZs. So GogojOey has been really improving a lot over the past, I want to say around 2 years, 3 years or so. But now that the regions have been mixed, now that we have a new ESL Masters Asia region, I wonder how he will perform, because we had a lot of favorites. We had a lot of favorites going into the open qualifiers, and so many of them did not make it through. We're talking about Beastork, we're talking about Demi, we're talking about many others, especially from Taiwan, Eternity, Expect as well. There were so many upsets. Quantel, so many upsets in the open qualifier. C2 didn't even make it out. What the hell? So many big names did not make it out of the out of the open qualifiers and into the closed. And even there, we still have to say goodbye to half the players we have tonight. It's gonna be brutal. It is going to be brutal, but regardless, we are here to bear witness. The show must go on. Someone has to chronicle the events here of tonight and live to tell the tale. We'll see how this will go. As spawning in, of course, the top left, GogojOey, we have a pretty standard opener. Hatch Gas Pool. What's important about this matchup here for GogojOey is that he is a very aggressive Zerg player, kind of like, he's cut from the same cloth of Dark, for example. He is willing to throw down a Roach Warren at any moment to go for some hyper-aggressive play. For the time being, though, Hatch Gas Pool, third base is on time as well, and XY will confirm that. Back at home, we have the mindset of the king taking effect. Standard, macro, economic, XY goes for a third CC before Starport, as standard and economic as you can get. Outside of being giga greedy, of course, we're not talking about going for a CC before Rax or going for like even a reactor first or anything like that. So, you know, XY is not crazy like Spirit or Gumiho or a couple of other select Terran players out there. Is going to be quite sensible indeed. Is setting up for a bit of an add-on swap as well, so it looks like a 3cc Banshee opener, at least for the time being. And you know what? I'm okay with starting off with standard. I'm okay with kicking things off and not having anything too crazy to begin with. At least here in game number one, we gotta ease our way into this long night of StarCraft. Long night, long day, long weekend. Help me. And here we go, we did have that add-on, so we have Cloak on the way as well as that Banshee, so as standard can get. With this, of course, I imagine we're going to be investing into multiple Banshees just so we can get across the map and pick off some of these workers. Until that point, though, GogojOey has been able to confirm the opener. He does see the Hellions as they move out, so he's aware of the 1-1-1, and as he deeps on forward, he will even get eyes on, oh my god, the third CC as XY, he goes straight to land it on location. Very greedy move here from XY. Usually we wait a little bit longer to actually have some map control and have a map presence, but no, XY is going for it immediately. Almost as greedy as just making it on location. This will be confirmed by GogojOey. Immediately, we do see him sending Lings across the map, but the Hellions are also making their way as well. The Lings shouldn't be able to do too much damage. There are no SCVs, no Mules. Oh, but they do go first round of the Marines. One Marine goes down, only one. Ooh. At the cost of 6 Lings. Was that worth it? That's okay. I mean, it wasn't just 6 Lings. It also forces all these Hellions to stay at home for the time being, to be a little bit more safe and secure, to make sure that this mineral line is not threatened by Lings. Meanwhile, the Banshees are going to be moving out as well. This was revealed earlier to the Lings as well, so GogojOey is fully aware. Spores are already on the way. Spore in production here in between the bases as well. Queens are in position, and a 4th hatchery is thrown down. Upon recognizing that we have such a faster TC, GogojOey responds with his own faster hatchery as well. We're just droning. There's no real need to make an overabundance of Lings and commit to any kind of major army. We are just going to continue as normal from here. The Banshees do reveal that they have Cloak, which is, again, to be expected. The Spore's just repositioning to help cover this 4th base to make sure we don't see a force cancel or anything like that. And we'll see how many workers we can get, as 2 Banshees will one-shot drones. Already 1 drone going down here, so nice damage so far, as he's going to dip between the bases and look for a couple more workers, maybe some of these gas mining drones. Oh, does get a 2nd, does get a 3rd, and a 4th as well. And the Banshees are going to be able to get the hell out of here. So far, again, great control here by XY. Nothing too fancy, but quite sensible indeed. As he goes a little bit further here. It is going to take quite a bit of hull damage, but for 8 drone kills in total, again, very worth it. We can always go back home with these Banshees, and we can always repair. On top of that, I didn't really get to mention it, but I do think it's a wise choice to open up Banshee here against GogojOey just because of his Roach tendencies. It is kind of what he is known for, so I think these Roach openers are quite well suited against GogojOey, and we should be seeing this throughout the series. Oh my god. Speaking of, we do immediately have a 4th CC as well. No 8 rack shenanigans whatsoever from XY. We're not going to be being hyper aggressive at all. We're just going to be looking to just macro on up, focus on our economy, focus on our income. Link shop, and we have some really great SimCity here as well, just to avoid any of these bailing run-bys and make sure that GogojOey isn't able to disrupt the economy of XY. Back across the map, we're still committed to Ling Bane, by the way. We have 2-2 on the horizon. We should soon be seeing an Infestation Pit as well, and we don't really see a commitment into any kind of higher tier of tech. We're not really here for that. We're not here for the Hydras. We're not here for the Mutas either. It's just pure Ling Bane. Ling Bane, Queen, to be fair. And XY has to be very careful with how he maneuvers here. He only has a single tank to support his army. Because all the Hellions survived the early game, we are now here with a couple of Hellbats as well to help soak up some of that damage. Ooh, 2 Banelings are going to be caught out though. Baneling speed just now finishing up. Ooh, we see XY taking control of the low ground. Going to be able to take control of this mineral line as well. At the same time, GogojOey goes for a massive Ling runway. But no, the Marines are here. Ooh, this is not a fight we want to take. A lot of Lings get shaved off. GogojOey trying to catch XY with his pants down, but no. He wears belts. He's fine. Speaking of, the Queen's going to be able to force this back, and we do see a pseudo. Oh my god, a massive surround here. The entire army of XY gets engulfed by the Ling Bane of GogojOey. Even though his counterattack didn't do too much, it was a setup for a surround, and now GogojOey is going to continue to run on forward. We only have a single tank remaining, and the Lings are diving on top of it. It was all slow and steady until things are popping up. SCVs are falling left and right. There is another tank here towards the third base. The Banelings are being focused down, but before that happens, 7 more SCVs go down. The scariest thing is the tank count. 2 tanks went down. We now only have 2 left here to hold on. And GogojOey is not done. He's going to continue to rally Ling Bane across the map. We have a hive on the way, so we can get into Adrenal. We can get into Ultras from here. As GogojOey has all the map control he could ever want. XY with his army in the middle of the map. He was never really committed with it. There was only a single tank. He had the majority of his army back at home, and he just lost everything. And now that he has, GogojOey can just keep on going. He wants to dive on top of these Marines. Once again, the tanks are exposed. The Banelings are going to be finding their connections as well. And even though we don't really get too much economic damage, there we go. The reinforcements are rallying into that mineral line and getting even more SCVs. Oh, XY having a hard time holding on. Even though he has some great SimCity here towards his third, it's not about the third, it's about the fourth. Here at this location, GogojOey is just abusing how open this area is. Tanks are getting repositioned here, and even though XY has lost a lot of workers, we can see here 12 workers over time, his SCV count is still standing strong. And look at this, he's fortifying this position. Tanks, Liberators, which should be seeing a couple of depots as well. The planetary is done. XY has weathered the worst of it, and he is holding on to his fourth. In saying that though, our Zerg player GogojOey has been able to have full control of the map, so he's been able to just greedily expand all over the place. Drone up to 87, a very healthy drone count, and the hive is done. That Ultra Cavern we were talking about is on the way. Of course, the downside to the composition of GogojOey is that he has very limited anti-air. He doesn't have Hydras, he doesn't have Mutas or Corruptors or anything like that. So this drop play can get out of hand. GogojOey is kind of out of position with his main army. He doesn't really have anything to deal with this double drop. Oh, and I don't believe he has noticed at the same time he's looking for a fresh mining base here, looking to see if XY is expanding. The double drop comes into the main base, and the spawning pool is under threat. Oh, this is actually pretty big here. The spawning pool is going to go down. At the same time, the Ling Bane rushes on forward. The tank is going to fall as well. The armory is exposed. Nice quick pull from XY. He does evacuate all those SCVs, but the Banelings are going in. Up. Can they make it? Oh, one Baneling makes it into the mineral line. At the same time, the Marines in the main base are finally being cleaned up, but they got the spawning pool, they got the gas geysers. At the same time, another double drop here towards the right-hand side at this 5th base. GogojOey, he's having a hard time keeping up here. He can't make any more Lings. He's making 2 spawning pools as we speak. He can only make Queens and Ultras right now to defend. He doesn't have any other kind of tech. But again, due to that counterattack, XY has to back off as well. He has to focus on recovering, on licking his wounds, and the double drop is getting out of there. GogojOey now able to finish up his spawning pool. 3-3 on the way. Does he have Adrenal? He does. Thank God. He was able to complete Adrenal in time. At the same time, we do have that double drop, forcing a cancel at this 7th base. I guess technically 8th base. So XY's been doing a great job at all this counter-attacking, but what about the main army here? We're still working with Marine, Marauder, Tank, Liberator. I like the Liberators. Liberators are good, but we have Ultras now. We need Ghosts. Ghosts and Liberators are great answers to the Ultra. Without them, the Marines are going to have a hard time keeping up. Meanwhile, the 5th base is being completely denied. Where's the lift? No lift, no cancel. The 5th CC goes down. At the same time, we're being a little bit wasteful with our Ultras. I mean, I was just talking about how like beefy Ultras are and we need Ghosts to deal with them. At the same time, sending one Ultra into this it's not gonna work. it's not really what we want to see. Oh god! Oh, another Ultra takes a massive hit. Again, kindness plating is still not done. We don't have our Ultra upgrades yet. They are quite squishy without them. Meanwhile, we were talking about the lack of anti-air. There we go. Spire is now on the way. Finally, GogojOey is going to be able to round out his army here with his Hive Tech with some anti-air to shut down this drop play. Not just the drop play, but also these libs. Corruptors will be playing a pretty critical role here in the up-and-coming fights. After that, we can transition to Broodlords with that Greater Spire. Before that happens, triple drop towards the north. The 7th base is under threat. No drones here, but the hatchery itself is quite vulnerable. GogojOey was not ready for this whatsoever. We have very limited scouting information here towards the south. These drops just keep going by unnoticed. Oh, and the hatchery is going to be going down. At the same time, we have another push here towards the northern side as well. GogojOey, his entire army was pulled out of position, and in the blink of an eye, he loses 2 hatcheries. The economy of GogojOey is still standing quite strong, but he needs to keep making these hatcheries. He needs to be able to have a way to, again, resaturate his bases once he does run out of resources. He needs to solidify his half of the map. XY, though, doing a great job at stopping that. You see one medevac going down, but it was one of the emptier ones. Corruptors are finally on the way. GogojOey has to be careful not to be pulled out of position. This time he is here for the main army. XY not quite paying attention. Oh, he's going to get a lot of his forces surrounded. At the same time, the drops come in. Ooh, the Ultra Caverns are under threat here. Queens are falling left and right. Reinforcements should be enough, but that Ultra Cavern, it's getting low. Oh, it is getting low, but the Ultras will survive. Ultra Cavern even. Oh. And now, we have Corruptors. The Corruptors have arrived. The era of the drops has come and gone, and now GogojOey is going to have an easier time dealing with them. If he wanted to, he can also work towards Vipers, so he can go for some Parasitic Bombs, he can go for some Blinding Clouds. But we were talking about those Ghosts. XY is transitioning here into his late game composition. A lot of Ghosts already coming out. We do have a Nidus coming into the main base, so this is spotted by XY. It's spotted, but can he deal with it? We don't really have too much here in the main base, but the tanks are rotating over. The Nidus is going to be going down. At the same time, we don't care about the Nidus. We care about the 4th base. The Planetary goes down. Not just the Planetary, the Ultras are getting on top of the tanks as well. Oh, the Ghosts! Quite a costly fight for the Zerg, but the 4th base goes down as well as all that 2-3 tanks, 15 SCVs. It may have cost GogojOey some Ultras, but he can replace them, he can replenish them. Another Nidus going into the main base again, looking to try and pull apart, distract the attention here of XY. Oh, Ghosts are going to be able to get some nice free kills here, but that was a lot of snipes. At the same time, a bit of a ling run by towards the triangular 3rd base as well. We are missing Infestors, though. How do we deal with all of these Ghosts to lock them down? Go for those fungals, go for those big money shots that we did see earlier today by Dark. Meanwhile, here we go, another run back here towards the 5th base, but there are just so many Ghosts. They have to be respected. And Lingbane Ultra has been good up until this point, but really it's only good on creep against this kind of army. When we can get a surround, when we can get a good angle. Without surrounds, these Ghosts are going to have a field day against these Ultras. I do worry here for GogojOey. He's kind of stuck in this unit composition of Ling, Bane, Ultra. Oh. Aye. We'll see. As all this is happening, we do see, there we go, a Baneling run back here towards the southern portion of the map. At the same time, the main army is pushing on forward as well. The Ghosts are still looking to stand strong, but that's a lot of Zerg. The Banelings do crash into the planetary. They will be able to at least get that, but where is the detection? It doesn't even matter. Look at the ghosts. They snipe everything in sight. Oh my god. The Ultras, the Lings, the Queens, the Overseers as well, and XY is going for a massive counterattack. GogojOey has to give up on this base. He's remaxing with 120 Lings and Ultras. And what's important about what just happened, XY, he's taking the 5th. He's looking to take a 6th base as well. Now that he has control of this area of the map, he is unlocking some more fresh bases. Ooh. And GogojOey, he needs to refine this army. This army is not good enough right now against all these ghosts. We need infestors. Broodlords, I mean, we don't even necessarily need Broodlords. Broodlords pair better with Infestors because Broodlords are in the air and the Infestors kind of don't get in the way of the Ultras, or don't get into the way of the Broodlords. But GogojOey is being a little bit stubborn here with his army composition, and I worry for him now. XY just slowly taking more and more of the map. And GogojOey, he can maybe go for a bit of a run-by instead, try to attack at a bit of a weaker area of the defenses of XY. Like, say, here, for example. There is a planetary, but just a planetary. But I worry. I worry for GogojOey. I guess this is his answer. Oh boy, we're going for a massive Doom drop into the main base. There are a handful of Marines and Marauders here, though. The ghosts, for the most part, are in between the 4th and 5th planetaries. God, more CCs, more tanks, more turrets being set up. XY just expanding his borders. And GogojOey, he's refusing to transition. It's like, mate, Lingbane Ultra Corruptor. That's my life. It'll work. Trust me. Oh, okay. Okay, Joey. I'll trust you. I'll trust you for now, but don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I've been hurt before. We do have a massive Doom drop going into the main base as we speak. Meanwhile, we have a bit of a Marine run by as well, just to clear up some of that supply to refine our army ever more. And the Lings have arrived. They blot out the sun, Bobby. The Lings are going to be able to take control of the Marines and the Marauders. They are forcing the Ghosts to respond. And this is going to create an opening. Here we go. GogojOey's coming in with everything he has. The Ghosts are coming back. Banelings against tanks. That's not really something we want to see, but here we go. Up. Oh, no detection available. The Banelings all go down. The Ghosts snipe everything else once again. At the same time, the Lings have broken into the main. They have gotten on top of the production. They take down the Ghost Academy. But was this worth it? GogojOey supply blocked. He lost a lot of Overlords and Overseers in that last moment, in that last fight. We don't even have a bank. We're remaxing on Lingbane Corruptor. This is not the way. Ay, ay, ay. GogojOey, he wants to overwhelm. He wants to just brute force his way through. And against anyone else, I think he could. But against XY, against the mindset of the king, the mindset of the strong, the macro, the economy, it's just, the mindset is too good. The XY is too powerful. There we go. Pathogen Glance is on the way. This may just be too late. I appreciate it though. I appreciate Infestors are on the horizon. This is the first sign. But GogojOey doesn't really have a bank. He needs to once again focus on just regathering his resources, rebuilding his army almost from scratch. It's going to be a long road. And XY, he slowly took his 4th, took his 5th, took his 6th. Now he has a 7th. He has a fresh mining base. XY, he can go for days, you know? He can do this all day, mate. GogojOey, he's accepted his fate. Greater Spire on the way. Broodlord Infestor is on the horizon for GogojOey, but I understand his frustrations. Oh my god! XY with the mass scans all over the entire map. He sees the army, he sees the economy, he sees everything. He's playing with map hacks. Oh my god. XY is already maxed, and GogojOey is still struggling to break 170 supply right now. But XY, one of the mantras of the mindset of the king is not to push out, but to let him, your opponent, push in. Oh, this tank count is actually crazy. Honestly, because of the amount of tanks, I feel like Vipers may be better than Infestors. It's possible. It is possible. To be fair, that's kind of where the Broodlords come in. So the way this works is the Broodlords are going to lay siege upon the bases. They're going to force the Ghosts forward, and as the Ghosts come forward, we're looking for the money fungals. Before that happens, we have a nuke. Not anymore. we almost had a nuke. We almost had a nuke. Oh, we do see XY rotating over towards the south, looking to try and take down this southern hatchery. GogojOey can't really do too much here. Again, he's slowly working on his Broodlords. Like GogojOey, he's getting here eventually. He will have a pretty good army, but his bank isn't as large as it could have been. All those ultras we saw before could have been more minerals and gas ready to go into Broodlords. To reinvest, if you will. Meanwhile, the Infestors slowly gathering energy. They are going to be scanned here. God, scans once again all over the place. XY prepared for everything to come his way. I'm afraid to look. We have 24 ghosts. 24 ghosts. That's a lot of ghosts. That's a lot of ghosts, puppy. Here we go. Broodlords are moving on forward. They are spotted here by the scans of XY, and GogojOey has to be very careful here. The ghosts are going to be looking for the snipes, and we have to be ready with our Infestors. Broodlords force the unsiege. They force XY to back off. At the same time, the Ling Rumbai catches 3 unsieged tanks. Very nicely done. Only gets 2 of them, but regardless. Nice value here from the Zerg player. Same time, Broodlords moving on forward. The Infestors are behind this. The Infestors are going to be looking for the fungals. The Ghosts are looking for the EMPs. Another CC going to be going down. We are up to 14 Broodlords. Only 4 Infestors. This is not the number that we need. We need more than this, and then we go 5 more on the way. At the same time, the tank army is pushing on forward. We realize the reason why XY is doing this, he needs to get rid of his tanks. He has too many tanks. It's all about the Thor. We need to replace all these tanks with Thors. Thor Ghost is the late game composition here for Broodlord Infestor. Oh, meanwhile, the Ghosts are moving on forward here. They're looking for those Infestors. They want them, Bobby. They want them. Meanwhile, the Broodlord's pushing on ever closer here, taking down more of these tanks, which XY is grateful for, I'm sure. Again, he's replacing the tanks with more Thors and more Ghosts. Tanks just aren't really too useful at the moment. Towards the south, a bit of a Ling Rumbai. Yo, a lot of these transferring workers are going to be going down. But again, I'm sure XY is thankful for this. We need to get rid of some of these workers. We're looking to super max. By that, I mean get an absurdly high army supply. Specifically army, not so much SCVs. XY moving on forward once again, just looking to trade out some tanks. The main thing is move forward, but there's not really much for them to kill. And GogojOey is looking for a different angle here with these Broodlords. He's like, should I attack the north? Maybe the south? Where should I be? Where are the ghosts exactly? So Thors are going to be able to take down this northern hatchery. The Broodlords rotate over towards the south instead. Here we go. This is where the next big engagement is going to be taking place. There we go. XY actually rotating over with his ghosts. He's looking for another angle. He goes for the scan. Does see all the Broodlords. Oh my, is he going to come in from behind? Maybe he's just planning to give up this position. We shall see. The Thors and Ghosts being quite mobile with their movements. Okay, more tanks going to be going down. XY. Interesting. He's going in towards the north. We're going to be maybe looking to clear up some of this creep. Meanwhile, the Broodlords are slowly dealing with this southern base. There we go. The Ghosts do reveal themselves. And GogojOey has to respond. There we go. He does rotate on over. He's going to be looking for fungals. He's going to be looking for... Oh boy. Oh boy. He's coming in. He's going to be looking for neurals as well on those Thors. Lingbane does go for a massive run, but at the same time, XY, he's looking for a way in. He wants to make use of the terrain, use of these choke points. The Infestors have to split, otherwise they're going to get EMP'd. Aye. We're looking for a way in. A lot of these stores are getting caught out of position. Here we go. The EMPs are connecting with a good chunk of those Infestors. The Ghosts move on forward as well. Hey, we were able to get a couple of those stores. Oh my god, but this is what we were waiting for. We get the money, Fungals. Give us the chain, Fungals, Papi. Can he get it in the end? A decent chunk of the Ghost did go down. At the same time, though, these Thors are going ham on the Broodlords. Looking for some more Fungals. Oh, the snipes EMPs are just too damn good. There were too many Ghosts in the end, and the entire army of GogojOey just melts. There were some good Fungals there from our Zerg player, but XY, he was too quick to pull back. He didn't really get too punished for it. He takes a big fight. And that may have just been it. Because we were stuck on Lingbane Ultra for so long, we don't have a bank. We are running out of money. We're running out of resources. GogojOey, he remaxes one more time. But on Ultras, oh. Okay. No, yeah, okay. I get it. I can see it. So we're tech switching. And this could work. This could actually work. That's a lot of Ultras. The reason why it could work, no tanks. The tanks are gone. Thors are not ideal against Ultras. And here we go. GogojOey is going for one final assault here. One Hail Mary play. If he can somehow get on top of these Ghosts, it can be worth it. But we're going back into tank production. XY is aware of what's going on. The longer we wait, the harder it is for GogojOey. XY doing a great job at also keeping up with the army rotations or the army composition of GogojOey. Oh. And here we go. GogojOey's going to try and collapse onto this army, but look at this choke point. Look at the positioning as well. The tanks, the Ghosts, everything involved. And even though we have a lot of Ultras, I don't think it's going to be enough. You can hear the snipes going off. Everything just melts, Papi. It just melts. We get a Fungal. It's nice, but that is it. That is the end of the Ultras. That is the end of GogojOey's army. Trying to catch XY off guard, but at this point, it is just not going to work. GogojOey, we got 20 lings on the way. 20 lings, Papi. Ay. And there it is. GG gets called. GogojOey knows he is out of gas. He taps out, and XY will take game number 1. Oh, GG. Wow, what a game 1. XY playing like XY, just this slow biotank style, just solidifying his position on his half of the map, slowly expanding. For a while, GogojOey was doing a good job at just kind of breaking those expansions and doing some economic damage, but after a while, we saw that he was just trading a little bit too inefficiently. He was stuck on Ultras for far too long, and the transition into Broodlord Infestor was necessary and was too late. Far too late in the end. By that point, GogojOey had already spent so many of his resources on Ultras, on Corruptors, on Lingbane. The amount of resources he had left on his side of the map just couldn't quite support this. And yeah, really strong showing by XY. Very strong indeed. But GogojOey, you know, he's not going to take this lying down. He's looking to recover. He is asking for a small break. One small moment, and we'll give him that. Of course. Oh, I need a drink. Oh yeah. I'm just catching up in the chat to what has been going on. Oh my god. So much was happening. The copy passes are real. The armory placement gives me anxiety. It was pretty anxiety inducing, and the armory did go down eventually at a certain point. Light pretends to know what a belt is. True. I've only seen them in movies, Papi, in movies. Oh. Alright, we're just catching up, Papi. We're just catching up. But yeah, GogojOey, he's just asking for a small break, so we're just going to be giving him that time, the time that he does need. And have some other matches been going on in the interim? That was a pretty long game one, and I wonder if other series have already ended. Oh, say it isn't so. So far, I can't see any updates quite yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if Honmono versus Raza, for example, is already over at this point. I would not be surprised. And yes, we have a couple of updates. So, Jeshi has 2-0'd Kingslayer. I know we had a lot of hype around Kingslayer. We wanted him to do well. We wanted him to do well against the old guard of the Chinese pro scene, but Kingslayer does get 2-0'd. Meanwhile, Firefly also gets the 2-0 over Potato, aka Young Zest. So a really good result there from Firefly as well. Oh no! I was really concerned about this, but Oriana has gotten the walkover over Piglet. Piglet was nowhere to be found. And yeah, Oriana does end up taking that game as well. Not like this, Papi, not like this. And I think those are the only updates. So far, the old guard of the Chinese scene are standing strong. Both Jeshi and Firefly advancing on to a qualifying match. Meanwhile, Piglet, unfortunately, no shows. Unfortunately, no Australian representative here tonight. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Ugh. It would have been great to have seen at least one. At least one. That's all we wanted. But no Aussies here. No Aussies. Aye. As we are going to be getting into game number 2, GogojOey has shown up. He is now refreshed, recuperated, and ready to try it again. And here we go, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Dragon Scales. We have the Chinese Terran player representing Invictus Gaming. We have the man behind the mindset of the king, the mindset of the strong, the macro Terran. It is XY. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Dragon Scales, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Zerg player, the best player in all of Hong Kong, representing the Juggernauts. It is GogojOey. See some people asking in the chat, what are the MMR of these players? These are, of course, pro players, and they're all around the 6K mark, at least, if not more, depending on the player in question. Oh boy. And yeah, I don't know if I've got another 30-minute game in me. Not gonna lie, Papi. Not gonna lie. Aye. Light is light again instead of dark. Yes, I have fixed my lighting issues. I have fixed them. I now know what happened. Don't worry about it. As we get into game number 2, nothing too crazy. Hatch gas pool coming out from GogojOey. Racks expand from XY as well. No cheese. No nothing of the sort. But I'll be honest, after what happened in game number 1, I think there were a couple of things that are made clear. Obviously, yeah, thank you for caring. So what I was about to say is that obviously GogojOey knows what he needed to do, right? And I know a lot of players like this, where he knows at a certain point that Broodlord Infestor would be a more efficient army, and he needed to get there faster. It's not about the need, it's about the want. And GogojOey did not want to go into Broodlord Infestor. It's a very slow style, it's a very methodical, it's slow and steady, and it's not really very active. Unlike Ling Bane Ultra. Ling Bane Ultra is all about dives, it's all about surrounds, it's all about these big, massive engagements. Brewlord Infestor has a very different tempo, and I imagine that because GogojOey was staying on Ultra for so long, it's because he was, you know, maybe huffing a little bit of copium, a little bit of copium, and believing that that would be enough, hoping that that would be enough to carry him through the game and to overwhelm and overcome XY. And now we have a bit of a reality check, and the reality is that it's not good enough. That you do have to, especially when the Terran player is entrenching themselves that much, you do have to kind of accept the game state and tech up and, you know, invest in pathogen glands and go into infestors and get into a greater spire. It may not be how GogojOey enjoys playing, but especially if the game goes that long, it's what you have to do, unfortunately. That is just how it is. And because of that, I'm sure GogojOey has been able to reflect with this break. Here we go. I'm sure he wants to make sure the game never goes that long again. We have a sub 4-minute Roach Warren. We're going to be going for a Roach timing here. GogojOey wants to end the game before it gets out of hand. He does not want to allow XY to cut the map in half, to take all of his bases and do whatever he wants. But at the same time, XY goes for a third CC before Starport, but there's a twist. It's an economic opener with a BC behind it. This is going to get wild. This is going to get interesting. Okay, so because of the third CC, this BC is later than a normal BC opener would be. Because of that, GogojOey could hit before the BC arrives, but I worry here because GogojOey has the Roach Warren, but he's droning right now. He's not actually making any roaches. He's still just kind of focusing on his economy, which means this BC will get underway and it will be unscouted. Meanwhile, Banshees are usually ideal against roaches just because Banshees are created faster, they get here in time. BCs take a much longer time to research and to actually come into play. So defensively against a Roach timing, it is difficult to pull off, but the Reaper slips into the main base, does confirm the Roach Warren, and it looks like GogojOey only has the Roach Warren just to supplement his army. He is still looking to macro and drone instead. And XY is playing mech. An armory is on the way. He's going to be going for a Hellbat BC timing here. My god. No stim, no nothing on this Rax. Mate, you thought XY could turtle in game 1? Nah, mate, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Double armory, double upgrades. Let's go. XY is going to be playing mech. Oof. And so far, this has not been revealed. The Overlord is being shooed away by the Marines. The Rax is a bit of a tell because it is floating. But before that happens, the Hellions are rushing across the map, and the BC is going to be meeting up with these Hellbats. Soon to be Hellbats, as the armory is now complete. Just going to be clearing up as much as we can. The BC does teleport into the main base. How many queens do we have? We have 8 queens. That is enough to deal with the first BC, but at the same time, the Hellions are looking for another way in. They're headed towards the third. Up! Oh, GogojOey, a bit of a late reaction there. A lot of these drones are lining up, but the roaches are here to defend. No morph into Hellbats. Wise choice, as there are roaches to defend, and we want to be able to escape them. 8 drones go down to this one BC. Oh! BC is taking a lot of hits, but the BC will survive. Behind this, we have 1-1 on the way. Oh. And GogojOey actually goes for a bit of a roach counterattack. There's nothing really here, only Hellions, so a nice bit of counter damage, 3 SCVs, and no mining whatsoever at the third base. Honestly, this is really necessary damage. GogojOey needs to try and slow down XY before he gets out of control. There we go. We forced the lift off as well. No tanks available, only Hellions. A lot of that gas was spent on that BC. So again, very smart decision making here by our Zerg player. Behind this, he's buying a lot of time. We have a Spire on the way. We have Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager as the composition of choice. 4th base on the way as well. Oof. And we'll see how this goes. Especially because, yeah, XY is not going to be utilizing Battle Mech. We have tanks in production. We have a BC, but we only have one BC. We're not really investing into Yamato. We're not making multiple BCs here. It's going to be a slower, more methodical style of mech. He's going to be active with the BC at least, with the battlecruiser. But for the most part, he's going to be focusing on his defense, on slowly expanding. Oh boy, and here we go. The BC does rock up in time to deny the 5th base, and ooh, we are forced to cancel. Very nicely timed by XY. At the same time, we have a handful of mutas, enough to one-shot SCVs, to be fair. We have 7 mutas in total. We're going to be dipping on in. Yo, nothing is here to stop this. And does anything even shoot up? Only the BC. The BC is forced to teleport back home. Ooh, as 9 SCVs go down, a great amount of counter damage once again by GogojOey. I assumed that the Spire would just be for Corruptors, but no, we have gone into Mutas instead, and I think that's a wise choice, especially because we only have one BC. Corruptors are not necessary, even though he's making 6. He's got to be careful. Got to be careful with that. We don't want to invest too much supply into dealing with only a single battlecruiser. At the same time, we see mass Thor production from here as well. We're forcing a reaction, which is great because we're not really investing too heavily into these mutas. We have 7. That's good and all, but from here, we're still focusing on our ground army, Ling, Bane, Roach, Ravager. Oh boy. As the game is going to be slowing down from here, we're just taking more bases, we're just droning up as well, saturating as much as we can. GogojOey going up to 90 drones. That's a lot of drones. That is a lot of drones, Papi, and now we can focus on, you know, being a little bit more aggressive, clearing up some of these Widow Mines out on the map. And there are a lot of them, to be fair. The Ravagers coming in behind this as well, looking for a way in. We have a scan, this army has been spotted. Ooh, the tank line is looking quite good, and we don't really want to push in here. We do get one tank with those biles. Meanwhile, now that we hit the 90 drone mark, GogojOey from here, he can just focus on nothing but army production. And this 5th base is looking pretty exposed. And did I say 5th? I meant to say 4th. The 4th is looking pretty damn exposed. We see another scan. We have spotted the army. The tanks need to reposition. There's only one tank here to protect this base. Here we go. 2 more are going to be shoring this up. GogojOey looking for the angle of attack here. He has maxed out 200 supply, and we do see the first tank going down immediately. Bane shot's going to be going off. Sorry, Widow Mine shot's going to be going off, but the Thors are exposed. There's just too much Roach Ravager. So much supply for XY is tied up here. These tanks are not helping at all. 3 more tanks coming down from the main base as well. GogojOey takes a good fight, and we can see his supply has been unwavering, unchanged, still 200 supply, and XY is struggling to rebuild. The mech army, it takes a long time to reproduce. More than 9 months. Oh. As we have the Hive on the way, another Spire as well. Here we go, GogojOey coming in once again before there are too many tanks to deal with this. Mine shots are going to be going off. Decent mine shots, to be fair. Oh, the Roach Ravager caught between the 4th base and the natural. Oh, these tanks are getting a lot of volleys off. And once again, XY will hold. GogojOey just coming at a really awkward angle. Like, because he's pushing through the center, again, tanks here on the right-hand side have been able to support. And GogojOey did lose a lot of units in that fight. He's going to be going for wave 3. We're going in once again. Some of these tanks are unsieged, but I don't know if we really have enough here. Yeah, we do not. Oh. GogojOey overextending. And at this point, he needs to back off. I think we need to tech up as well. We have a Hive. We have 2 Spires. We need a Greater Spire. We need to embrace the Broodlord. Before that happens, GogojOey is going to stick with a more mobile army here. XY struggling to take a 5th base. But especially after that last fight, like, the tank count is just far too strong. Like, look at this. There are so many tanks available. There's the Greater Spire. GogojOey, he knows what he needs to do. He's willing to do it as well. We're coming at this from a different angle here. Only one tank on the high ground. XY completely out of position. One BC goes down. The second BC does teleport away. Oh, but the planetaries are falling left and right. The SCVs as well. This is a good fight for GogojOey. This is what we were waiting for. This is what we needed. Abusing how slow, how clumsy the mech army can be. Oh my god, with the caustic spray. Up! Can we get it? Can we get it, Papi? Up! Up! Oh, the repairs are just too good. But regardless, 16 SCVs just went down. GogojOey can remax once again. And he's just diving on in. The BC. Oh, no mas! No! The BC barely survives. Well, that's okay. We needed to save these corruptors. Why? Oh, Broodlords, Papi. Broodlords. The Greater Spire is done. GogojOey is maxed, so he has to free up some of the supply first. Gonna be looking to slip into the main base. We have 7 more mutas on the way as well to help one-shot those SCVs. GogojOey just going full harassment mode. Behind this, 3-3 is on the way. All of our hive upgrades. Corruptors do find their way into the main base. Oh, that one missile turret is gonna get some decent value. Oh, I don't know if this is worth it. But at the same time, the Lings coming from the left-hand side. We see one tank exposed, maybe a second tank. No, just one for now. XY is able to hold on as he does lose 7 SCVs. And we're actually going into more mutas. Interesting. Let's look at the unit count here. We only have 3 Thors. XY doesn't have that much anti-air. The muta switch could work. Could work. Big could. I think we can definitely dance between these bases. We can deal a lot of economic damage. At the same time, the Ling Roach once again diving on top of this frontal force. Oh, but it just melts here to the tanks. GogojOey being a little bit wasteful. But here we go. The Mass Muta is finding its way in. Turrets are going down left and right. Thor is very slow to respond. If at all. Oh my god, the Thors, yeah, they're a little bit busy here on the front lines. The Muta's going to the main base as well, but the Thors have arrived. Ugh. Yeah, this Muta switch had potential, but this was a very expensive choice here for GogojOey, and I'm worried that he's doing it again. He's making more Mutas. When I say he's doing it again, I'm worried that he's just hyper fixated on dealing economic damage, on just being aggressive, and it is gonna mean that his main army is gonna be that much weaker as a result. Like when XY pushes out across the map, I don't know if GogojOey can hold. Ugh, here we go. The BCs do go toe-to-toe with the mutas and the corruptors. They teleport back in time. Again, a lot of mutas going down. Looking at the units lost tab, 26 mutas. Jesus, look how much gas we've lost. The resources lost, it tells a story here. Initially it was okay, but GogojOey just really wants to be in XY's face, and oh boy, it's just not worth it. Meanwhile, Neural is on the way as well. We should be seeing some more corruptors. We should be seeing some of those broodlords and infestors. XY once again doing a great job of just slowly taking his 4th, his 5th. Slowly taking his half of the map, and eventually he'll just be taking everything here. If GogojOey isn't able to stop him. Again, this investment into the mutas just didn't really work out. We have our Thors waiting for the mutas in the main base. BC's patrolling around as well. We'll see what the yeah. We'll see what the mutas can get done, but they run into the Thors. Not like this, Papi. Not like this. We got 6 infestors are on the way to help be that stepping stone to get into the more late game army composition. And we'll see if he can get there. I think the most important things that are happening right now is the fact that GogojOey is trying to take these fringe bases, and it is so important that he prioritizes them. There we go. He just maynards over towards the bottom left. He needs to mine as much of this as possible, because the reality is XY will eventually take this base. And by the time he does, we need to make sure there is nothing left for him to take. Same can be said for the base here on the right-hand side as well. Oh boy. As GogojOey is just going to try and mine as much as possible. A couple of Hellbats are coming in for some run buys just to free up some supply. We don't really need Hellions or Hellbats at the moment. Units are slipping into the main base. Once again, those Thors are still there, but we can Magic Box. Can we kill these Thors? Ah, we can get one. Maybe just one though. At the same time, the BCs are just rushing across the map. How many Corruptors do we have right now? Not enough. We only have 3. The Hellbats as well doing a lot of damage on the left-hand side as well. Oh, GogojOey is having a really hard time defending against all this harassment. The Queens are trying to keep up. 15 drones go down. Do you have Yamato? We do have Yamato. Ugh. Oh no, the Broodlords are revealed as well. Ghost production has commenced. Ugh. And GogojOey is falling apart a little bit here. He does still have a big bank, so he can still remax, but things are getting really chaotic. We do see XY moving out with his tanks. Once again, just like last game, we want to get rid of these tanks. Because there are Broodlords out, we're replacing all these tanks with Ghosts and with Thors. So XY wants to throw them away and trade as efficiently as possible. And yo, he is trading efficiently. 19 drones go down, a hatchery. This other hatchery towards the center is under threat. This is the downside of Broodlords. Broodlords are so slow to respond. And again, these are just good trades for XY. He wants to get rid of these tanks. He wants to get rid of these Hellbats, the Hellions, even the BCs. Oof. And this left-hand base is going to be cleaned up here. The drones are going to try to be saved, but the tanks will clean them up. BC's coming in from the right-hand side as well. Things are just getting far too out of hand. Do we have any Corruptors to deal with this? The answer is no. We only have 3 Corruptors. The rest were morphed into Broodlords. And these BCs are just tearing Joey apart. And eventually GogojOey is going to stabilize. Don't get me wrong, this will happen, but he's just taking so many losses, mate. It's so much. It's too much, papi. It's too much. Corruptors show up, but the BCs, they can just teleport away from here. There we go. 1 BC goes down, but only 1. At the same time, the Broodlords are now turning the tables. GogojOey has had enough defending. He wants to be the aggressor. He wants to push out across the map. 1 planetary goes down. Is going to be weakening this frontal force. Look at those Ghosts. We've seen this before. The Ghosts, the Thors. Oh god, even Muda Mines. GogojOey getting knocked down to 49 drones. He's going to try and resaturate his bases. And XY, he just doesn't stop. He's just moving out once again with his Thors and with his Ghosts. He wants GogojOey to respond or even force a base trade. We'll see what he goes for. He goes for the scan. He sees the main army. And yeah, XY, he just can't... Sorry, GogojOey, he just can't be at 2 places at once. Not like this. And XY, he hasn't just taken these fringe bases, which are pretty damn important. He's even looking to take top right. Taking one of GogojOey's bases. Oof. Do you have a neural? Nice. Take control of the tank. Ugh, sorry, the Thor. Have a bit of a Ling Rotron by here towards the bottom left-hand corner as well. The main army for GogojOey is still relatively strong, is what I will say. Just very slow, very immobile. More immobile than Ghost Thor, to be honest. Oh boy. God. I'm just looking at this. Planetaries, turrets on the way, more production, sensor towers. Ooh. XY, he came prepared. He knows what he wants in life. No doubt about that. It's all about La Tortuga. Oh my god, Yamano goes off. Another Infestor goes down. And the thing is that we're not even getting a big fight. Like, GogojOey, he wants a fight. He wants a big engagement, and XY's just not giving it to him. He's just going for all these small harassing units. A couple of Thors here and there, Ghosts here and there. And he is just pulling GogojOey apart. Oh. Even here, 2 Ghosts just to harass and pick off whatever drones they can. GogojOey is going to be trying to move out. But we have the BCs. The Corruptors have to respond, but the BCs are also being covered by these Ghosts as well. This could be a trap. Hatchery is going to be going down. Here we go. The Corruptors are diving on in. They're going to try and pick off at least one of these BCs, and they will get one. But here come the Ghosts. Oh. We do have the Ghosts coming on in. Ling Bane is ready to respond. Broodlords over here on the right-hand side are trying to find some damage. They do force a cancel towards the top right. Here we go. Finally! Finally, things are settling down. GogojOey like, give me a fight, goddammit. The Broodlords are moving on forward. The army of GogojOey is consolidating. His Ling Bane is over on the left-hand side just to help defend. And we're gaining a little bit of ground here. A little bit of ground. But these bases are still untouched. And hey, we're getting some factories, I guess. Getting some factories, but not the biggest of losses here for XY. Just clearing out more of this creep. The Thors clear up the creep. The Ghosts are waiting for those Broodlords to reveal themselves. Oh. Oh, and this hatchery is unfortunately very low. One of the last mining bases of GogojOey now gone. We can always teleport away. Ah. We just teleport away. But here we go. The Broodlord's finally going to be taking down one of the important mining bases here of XY. The Ghosts and the Thors are out of position, so we're going to be trading a base for a base. Not too bad here. Oh, I don't know about how I feel about this. The Banelings roll in. They don't kill any Thors. Oh. Not ideal. And here we go. The Ghosts also get a couple of snipes off on those Broodlords. Oh, they got 8 Broodlords. Jesus. Just like that, GogojOey plummeting in the supply. Has to rebuild. Has to remax. It's so unlucky that out of all the Terrans, GogojOey hits XY, and this is what XY is known for. I don't know if I made that clear earlier, but this is kind of XY's bread and butter. He is all about that, mate. Let me just pitch my tent, you know, just we're just gonna be camping for a little bit. Hope you enjoy the outdoors, GogojOey. And GogojOey is just running out of money at this point, running out of his bank. Gonna try and push forward. The reality is that right now, even if GogojOey takes a really good fight, XY can remax. XY has a bank to remax, and GogojOey doesn't. That's the unfortunate reality of the situation. Here we go. XY moving on forward with his Thor Ghost, bringing down all of these spores. Infestors are looking to go for, but the EMPs! Oh, the EMPs do connect, but so do the fungals. And mate, those are some pretty damn good fungals. You don't have any more though, and one fungal is not good enough. The snipes go off, everything dies. GG gets called, and XY takes the series 2-0. Ooh. Oh, that's the wrong button. Un momento. There it is. GG, well played. XY with two differing styles, Biotank to begin with and Mech to end with. He takes the series 2-0 and will move on to a qualifying match. GG, well played. Congratulations to XY. Very well handled, very methodical play. You know, he is a master of getting to the late game and to just slowing everything down, going for that kind of win condition. And now I have to take a breath. My Zerg heart bleeds a little bit. We are advancing on to the next round where we have quite a number of qualifying matches here. Oh boy, let's have a look together.